Welcome back to the Deep Digger Sports Pod. I'm your host, Drew. My other host right here next to me.
What's up? It's D. Good to see you again. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to the pod. And then be sure to drop some comments below. Just let us know your thoughts.
I kind of want to pivot to some more NFC teams because the Eagles are struggling. They were kind of the talk of the league a couple weeks ago. I mean, for better reasons than they are now. They were the 1 seed. They've fallen all the way to the 5. They lost 2 in a row now, right?
3 in a row.
3 in a row. Man, I mean, everyone talking shit about the 49ers earlier in the season, losing 3 in a row. Now look at the Eagles and how quickly things can change. Are the Eagles kind of a bad team right now, or are they going to pull it together, you think?
They are floundering. I don't know if you've seen that clip of it was Christian McCaffrey on the Manning cast. Did you see this clip?
No.
All right, so they line up. The tight end is off center or is off the ball, and Christian McCaffrey is like, oh, okay, this is going to be – I think he said it's going to be like a run with Jalen Hurts. The tight end is going to pull, and that's exactly what happens. And people were like, this is how fucking predictable this Eagles offense is. Christian McCaffrey knew exactly what they were going to do. That's how locked in the 49ers were to this Eagles team as well. They knew exactly what they were going to be running. Christian McCaffrey, who doesn't even play fucking defense, plays offense, knew exactly what the play was going to be. And so they're predictable on offense. Jalen Hurts is not looking good at quarterback. He's looking good on the run. He had like 80 yards, but he only had like 140. He had 2 picks. He looked bad right now. On the defensive side, they're floundering. They had to have Matt Patricia step up and essentially take the defensive coordinator spot. He is now calling the plays on the defensive side, and he couldn't stop a nosebleed during that last drive. Drew Lock looked – let's give Drew Lock some credit. Drew Lock proved himself. He is going to step up, and I think that Geno was a healthy scratch. I think they ended up – hey, you know what, Geno
hasn't looked the same this year.
We are going to have Drew Lock step up, and Drew Lock after the game was saying like, hey, I want to thank Geno. When I had the opportunity, he came up to me. He was hyping me up. He was telling me I'm the best player on this field. You're going to lead us to this game-winning drive. I know you can do it. So give Geno Smith, he's a class act, dude. He is one of those guys that you want in the locker room no matter what. And so, but they literally made this Eagles defense look pedestrian. And I know this has been a few weeks in a row where they've looked bad. What do you do on both sides of the ball? You're just looking subpar.
I mean, at this point, do you just like rest Jalen Hurts for a week to try to get him healthy? Because he's obviously not right. And he's been banged up all week. Why not just rest him? You're already out on the 1 seed. I know you're trying to win the division, but at what cost is it going to do to your team? Because you're in these dogfights every week, and your schedule lets up these next 3 weeks. You don't think Mariota can get you to one win next week against, I believe, the Cardinals?
But it's like if you're them, like, okay, is that 1 week really going to matter? Like, is Jalen going to be fixed in 1 week? Or is this a thing where he's going to need the offseason? Like, hey, he's banged up. Maybe he needs low-key, I think he needs like a surgery or something, because it has been all year. He's looked dog shit. Like, he's looked bad. He's limped in and off the field the entire year. He hasn't been on the injury report only a handful of times. I know they said he was sick this week, but there's
been like a shoulder, there's been like an ankle.
Consistently doesn't look right. There's something lingering there with him. And so, yeah, I mean, give him the week, but at the same time, like, because is it going to matter?
They're so loaded on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. Like, they should be performing way better than this. And all season, they haven't really separated from teams. They've really been in close fights every week, and now it's kind of starting to come back around to them.
Yeah, man. I mean, I said this before, but they fucked up keeping Sirianni and letting Shane Steichen go. They should have, hey, you know what, Nick? We have a guy here. I know you're winning. This is no indictment on you, but we really think that Shane Steichen is a shooting star. And look what Shane Steichen's doing with a backup quarterback in Gardner Minshew. They're going to make the playoffs. Like, have no doubt about it. I think that they're going to make the playoffs, dude.
And Garner looks good.
Yeah, I mean, the offense looks good. Like, the team looks motivated. They look ready to go. They let go of the guy that the Eagles then picked up. It's like they're not missing a beat here. But Sirianni and this team, like what? Sirianni is not the offensive play caller. He cannot help this team. Like
That's the price
what
you
is
pay
doing?
for a head coach who's not your offensive coordinator or defense coordinator.
Well, he was there. He is an offensive guy. He was their offensive play caller when he first got in, and he got it taken away from him. He's not good. And so now you figured it out, and it's like, okay, well, what does this guy really do? We fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, their offense, said it last week. It kind of summed up with, we're going to short run, and then we're going to throw a bomb to A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith and hope they catch it. And that's kind of been their offense because Jalen Hurts hasn't been too much of a rushing threat like he was last year.
He is. This week he did do. He just couldn't. He's not I don't want to say he's not a quarterback, but he wasn't a quarterback yesterday. He wasn't. 140 yards. He had 80 yards on the ground by himself. He was just rushing the ball. And so you got to get someone else in there. You got to get someone. You got to go out and look for an offensive coordinator. I don't know if you go for
why don't they
in college?
Why don't they put their they have a former OC on the staff. Did you know that they have Matt Patricia?
He's going to call both sides of the ball.
Yeah, Matt Patricia could be their OC because
OCDC.
I mean, that just tells you how desperate they are right now. It's week 15,
and they're making this switch.
They're making a switch in their defense coordinator position. They have 10 wins. 10 wins, 11 wins?
I don't know.
They have at least 10 wins.
Quiz me right now.
And they are making a switch at coordinator, and that's how bad this defense is. They made a trade at the deadline for Kevin Byard. They now have turned to Matt Patricia, who has been terrible in his last couple stops. And nothing – I mean, they looked a little bit better yesterday, but they still lost the game at the end of the day. So this is a desperate Eagles team. I don't know how they're going to pull it together, honestly, but they have the talent.
And even then, like, you're only going to get the concern for the Eagles moving forward is that Jalen Hurts is only going to get more expensive. His contract, the years are only going to go up from here. And so you're going to be more and more limited on resources. How are you going to build this team out? What are you really going to do? You can't.
Yeah, get ready to lose more pieces on defense.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to continue to build through the draft, and hopefully some of these guys hit. But like Nakobe Dean never hasn't shown up. Like all this whole linebacking core is not good.
That D line should be dominating, like Browns level dominating.
And teams are literally targeting James Bradbury. You need another corner. Like
you need safeties.
He's getting picked on so hard. That JSN touchdown in the last second off Bradbury. Like, what do you got to say? But like, yeah, I mean, they're just floundering right now. I think they're in a bad spot. I don't see them getting far in this playoffs. I think they beat whoever in the first round, but realistically, they're not going to be able to beat the Cowboys or the 49ers.
And they fucked up last year by kind of playing we're not going to sign back Darius Slay because his contract's too big, but then they lose out on Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who was a pretty good piece for them, and they have to bring back Slay, but they lost out on him. So the secondary did just get kind of pieced together at the last second in the offseason, and Bradbury is not great.
No, not at all. Be sure to hit that like button, drop some comments, let us know what you're watching, and then also hit subscribe. Come on. Later.